Hello everyone, this fifth video of this tutorial series is a beginner's guide on how to use After Effects. The content covered here includes creating more kinematic animations, but this time we will be doing that by playing with 3D properties. In the last tutorial, we briefly went over accessing 3D animation tools. Today we will expand upon that and refresh our memory on making masks. You can make a mask on the same image layer, but to make a clipping mask, click off of the image layer and grab the shape tool and draw, for example, a circle with the ellipse tool. Go to Effects and Presets and drag Set Matte to the image. If you don't see the Modes column already to the left of the timeline window, right-click on the upper menu bar and make sure a check mark appears next to Modes. You will see a new column appear called Track Matte. Open the drop-down menu where it says None, and select Alpha Matte Shape Layer 1 or whatever you named your mask. You can see that the image is completely apart from the mask. If you move the image, the mask doesn't move with it, and vice versa. You also have different mask properties, such as mask expansion, opacity, feather, and mask path, where you can choose whether you want the mask to be rectangular or circular. An effect I want to show you is Radial Wipe, which you can use to make a transition with a clock-like motion. Another effect I want to show is kind of wild. Search Wigglorama and apply it to the image. You have a ton of different controls to play with and adjust on the left. You can make the image appear really agitated or as if it is gently floating. Let's import a fun Halloween-themed video here for our demo. Now let's learn about different overlay modes when we stack layers on top of each other. Try each of them out and see what happens. A really cool effect as well is called Liquify, and you can use it to distort an image. You can also animate the distortion to make an image or a video appear as if it is melting. There are different kinds of liquefying tools that give off various appearances. Let's apply what we learned with masks to text. Go to Track Matte and press Alpha Matte Halloween, and you can see the video play within the text. Now let's learn something new. Open the text layer drop-down menu and click on Animate. You can select any one of these properties, but for demo purposes, let's select Opacity. Under Animator 1, Range Selector 1 appears with opacity below it. Open the drop-down menu for Range Selector 1. Watch what happens when I enter and keyframe different values into these properties. End marks where the animation will end, and offset is where you want the animation to be applied to. Similar to the rotation animation we added using Range Selector, we are going to add a Wiggly Selector to animate this text now. This Wiggly Selector is also linked to the Range Selector, which is useful for further customization. We're going to now add the Enable Per Character 3D property. This will allow us to make the wiggle apply to the Z-axis in addition to the Y and X axis if we so desired. Speaking of 3D, let's learn how to animate an Illustrator file or a Photoshop file with multiple layers. Import the layers into your composition, and right-click in the timeline window and select New Solid. Make the fill white and stack the solid layer underneath your Illustrator layers like so. Click on the first layer and hold the Shift key as you click on the last layer in the list. This will select all the layers. Click on the 3D cube next to the Mode column. Now, all have been given 3D properties that we can control. We can see our layers in 3D space now. We can transform these layers on the Z-axis. Move your objects around this 3D plane as such, and go back to the active camera view to continue moving the objects to wherever you desire. Right-click in the timeline window and select New Null Object. Select all your layers, and where it says Parent and Link, select Null 1. Now whatever you do to the null, you do to all the layers, since they have become children of the null, which is their parent. Note how the objects in the front appear to move faster than the objects behind as we keyframe the position from one side of the frame to the other. I hope you found this tutorial to be helpful. Do subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on future content.